So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cheetah or jaguar, depends on how you want it to look. And to start, we will be making these legs. I made 3 by myself, and I'm going to show you how to make 1, and you can pause the video to make 3 more. So to begin, we will be taking 1 black band and 1 yellow band, and we'll place it from here to here. And we're going to be taking 2 yellow bands, reaching up here, and we're going to be placing it under. And now we're going to be taking 1 black and 1 yellow, and we will be placing it from this peg to that peg. And to cap it off, we're going to be taking our hook and 2 of these yellow bands. We're going to be looping it 4 times. You can do 5 if you want, but I'm going to do 4 for this video. And right now, we are just going to do it twice, so that you're going to have 8 loops in all for both of the bands. Now we're going to be taking 2 of these yellow bands, and we're going to loop all of these yellow bands on to those 2 yellow bands that we put on the hook. And right now we're going to attach these bands onto that end peg right there, and we can loop it off. And now we're going to turn the loom around, and with our hook we're going to push back these 4 bands here, grab the top 2, which is going to be the black and the yellow, and we're going to loop it onto the next peg, grab this yellow and black, and we're going to loop it onto the next peg, and we're going to take these 2 yellow bands, bring it onto the next peg. Now you can pause the video to make the second one of these, and you're going to have 4 in all. Now we're going to be making this other ear. I already made 1, and you can pause the video to make another one. To make the ear, we're going to be taking 2 of these yellow bands. Instead of 4, we're going to be doing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to be doing it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to push these back a little more. Take 2 of these yellow bands, and we're going to loop all of these bands onto those 2 bands that we placed onto the hook. And we're going to do that same thing with these bands, and we're going to loop all of them off onto the hook so that it will stay on that band. Now we have made our ear. Now we're going to be taking this and put it onto our holding instrument. So we've got 2 of the ears done. And right now we are going to be making the eyes and the nose. And to make the eyes, we will be taking 2 of these black bands, 2 of the white bands, and 1 yellow band. We're going to be taking 1 of these black bands, and we're going to loop it 5 times. So there's going to be 5 loops right here. Now we're going to take a white band, and we're going to loop it twice on one side, twice on the other side. And we're going to make another eye, repeating the same steps. So we're going to loop the black band on 5 times. So that's going to be 5 loops right there. And we're now going to be taking this white band, and we're going to be looping it twice on one side, twice on the other side. Now we're going to be taking this yellow band, and we're going to be looping these eyes all onto that 1 yellow band, and we're going to be making sure that there's only 1 yellow band here instead of 2 as we did for the other loops. We're going to be taking both of the eyeballs onto that 1 band. So we're going to have all these eyeballs secured on this 1 band, and now we can put this aside on our holding instrument. And now we're going to be making his nose, and we're going to be using black band and 3 other yellow bands. So we're going to be taking this black band and we're going to be looping it only 4 times. You can do 5 if you want to, but I think 4 will be better. So we're going to be taking 2 of these yellow bands. We're going to loop it twice, so that then there's going to be 4 loops right here. And we're going to grab all these black bands and loop it on to that those yellow bands. And we're going to place it on right there. So right now we can get our next set of bands on. We're going to be placing this yellow band right here onto the hook, and we're going to be looping all of these bands on there carefully, so making sure that this yellow band stays here. And now we're going to be taking, and now we're going to turn the loom around and we're going to start placing our bands. To start, we will be making our head, and to make the head we're going to be placing a band from here to here and 2 bands from here to here, 2 bands from here to here, and we're going to do the same thing on this side, placing 2 bands for each peg. So we're just going to be placing one from here to here, and we're going to be placing 2 bands from here to here, and we're going to be doing the same thing for the last peg, and we're going to put it from here to here. Now we're going to fill in the middle with 2 bands. So we can take 2 bands, we're going to place it from here to here, and we're going to place another 2 bands from here to here. Now we're going to push the bands on this peg down so we can have room for the rest of the body. So we're going to be placing 2 bands each from here all the way to that peg right there. So we're going to be placing 2 bands from here to here, and we're going to be placing 2 bands from here to here, and we're also going to be doing it for those 2 pegs, placing 2 bands each on this side. Now we're going to be doing the right side. We're also going to be placing 2 bands each, so we're going to have 4 bands in all from this side. And now we are going to be placing 3 bands in the middle for these middle pegs, and we're going to be placing 2 bands from here to here, and we're also going to be placing 2 bands right here and another 2 bands right here. Right now we can be ready to turn the loom around, and we're going to take one of our legs and we're going to place it on this peg, and we're going to be taking another leg and we're going to be placing it on that peg right there. And right now we are going to be attaching some spots for these pegs. So for the spots, we are going to be taking our hook. We're going to be taking one of these black bands. We're going to be looping it 5 times or 4. It just depends on how you want it to look. If you want it to be smaller, you can do 5, and if you want it to be bigger, then you can do 4. So for this, I'm going to be doing 4 times, and I'm going to be taking one of these bands, and we're going to get all these black bands onto that one peg right there, and we're going to be placing this right in the middle, and we can adjust this to be right there in the middle. And now we're going to be taking another black band, and we're going to be looping it 4 times, and this time we're going to take one of these like yellow bands, and we're going to be looping it twice like this, and we're going to be grabbing these black bands, and we're going to loop it over the hook, just like that. Now we're going to be placing this right here, so it can just rest on those pegs right there, and we're going to be doing another pair of spots for right here. So we're going to be taking our hook, and we're going to be looping it 5 times right here, or you can do 4, but then I want these to be a little smaller, so we can take one of these bands and we're going to loop it twice right now, and we're going to take these black bands and loop it over, making sure all the black bands are over there. And right now we're going to be taking this off, and we're going to be placing it from that tag all the way to this tag right here in the middle. And now we're going to be making another 2 spots for placing over there and there. This time I'm going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take a yellow band, looping it twice on here, so it's like this, and we're going to be taking these black bands and we're going to loop it all over right there like this, making sure all of the black bands are over. So you got that. And right now we're going to be taking this and we're going to put it from that shoulder peg right there to this middle peg right here. And we're going to do another one from there to there. So we're going to take one of these black bands and we're going to loop it, this time I'll do 4. So I'll be taking one of these yellow bands and loop it twice. And now we're going to take all these black bands and loop it over. So now we're going to place this right on the shoulder peg from the right to this peg in the middle. Now we are going to be placing our nose onto the peg from the face, and we're going to be taking this band and we're going to just place it on those 2 pegs right here so that it will just rest right there. And now we're going to be taking our eyes, and the eyes will go right here on those 2 pegs. So we're going to be taking one right there and one right there. And right now we're going to stretch these out, and we're going to place this through the middle on that peg right there. Now we're going to be taking our ears. So we're going to be taking this ear, we're putting it off the hook, and we're going to be stretching it onto that peg right there. So we're also going to be taking the other ear. I'm just going to take it off of the hook. So we got it like right here, right now, and we're going to be taking this and we're going to be placing it on that same peg, the other one except to the left. And right now we're almost done placing our bands. We're just going to be capping off some of those. So we're going to be taking one band here to cap that off, and one band here to cap it off, and we're going to be taking one more to cap its face together. And right now we're going to be taking one of these bands to cap off this peg, and we can loop it 3 or 4 times. I'm going to be doing 4 for this video. And right now I'm going to be taking our hook, and we're going to push back this cap band, and we're going to grab the top 2, which should be going to the middle right there. And right now we're going to be looping, and we're going to take this middle peg, and we're gonna bring it right there, pushing back these bands, and bring this peg to that peg right there. Now we're gonna push this back. I'm gonna grab these bands, and we're going to bring it on to that peg right there, and we're gonna, and you can stretch it like this to see that band, and we're gonna push back all those bands and grab those two bands, and we're gonna loop it on here, and we're gonna push back these two bands, and we're gonna grab those top two, and we're gonna place it onto that peg right there. Now we're gonna push back this cap band, and we're going to put those two on that peg. And right now we can just look like this so we can see those two bands right there, and we're going to take those two bands and we're going to release it, and we're going to place it on to that peg right there, and we're going to push back those bands, and we're going to grab those two bands from there. I'm going to loop it on to that shoulder peg right there. And the reason why we're going to do this is because we're going to put these two legs on. We're going to put one right there, and we're going to take the other bands and we're going to just place it onto that shoulder peg right there. So now we're going to be taking your hook, and we're going to be pushing back all those bands until you see those bottom two yellow bands, and we're going to be stretching it, and we're going to put it on that peg right there, and we're going to be pushing back all these bands, grabbing the bottom two, and we're going to loop it onto there. And right now you can just let these rest like that, so we can just keep it like this. And right now we're going to be pushing this right here, and we're going to take those top two bands, which will be going to that middle, and we got those two right now, and we're going to be stretching it to that middle peg, and we're going to grab the top two bands right here, which will be going to this side, and now we're going to be grabbing these two bands, which will be going on that side, and if it's kind of tight, just release it. So right now we're going to be looping this middle, there's going to be two bands right there. We're going to put it onto that center peg right there, and we're going to be pushing back those two bands, grabbing the bottom two, and we're going to place it onto that ear peg right there. So making sure all the bands go down. Right now we're going to do the same thing from this side, pushing back the bands, grabbing those two bands, and we're going to just let it rest on that peg. And right now we're going to be pushing back all these bands, and we're going to see that those bottom two bands, and we're going to pull these bands to that middle peg right there, and we're going to do the same thing for this side. Okay, we're going to take these two bands and we're going to place it on that peg. Right now we're ready to end this cheetah. We're going to take one of these yellow bands, and we're going to put all this onto that hook right there, and we're going to take this band and we're going to pull it through all these pegs, check to see if all the bands are on, so all the bands are secure right there, and we're going to take this band and we're just going to pull it over so we can have this knot right there. And right now we can just take it off the loom. So right now I'm just going to switch it with my other hook so we can use this hook. And with this back of the hook, we're just going to release all those bands off so that we can get ready to take it off the loom. And it's almost done, so I can just turn them around. I'm going to get all these bands off. And right here, we're also going to get it off so that we remove it. And we can just pull this part off right there. And right now, we're going to just take this band. And if you don't want it to be a keychain, that's fine. So you can take it on, and we're going to loop it twice onto that ear so then we can keep it secure and it won't be showing. And right now we're going to push these eyeballs right here, and we're going to push those back there. And then the nose will go through that, the middle of those two right there, so we can just try pulling it out so it looks like that. And right now we're going to be pushing back those spots so that you can see it clearly on the back. So right now it looks like this. We can keep adjusting the cheetah to make it look the way you want it to look. So right now we're going to be making this tail, and to make the tail we will be taking our hook, and for this tail right here there's 4 loops. So we're going to be taking our black band and we're going to loop it 4 times onto the hook. And right now we're going to be taking a yellow band and we're going to be looping it twice, like there. And we're going to take all these bands, loop it on right there. And right now we're going to be taking another yellow band and we're going to just make another loop right there, and we're going to stretch all these bands off of the hook going there, in that direction. And right now I think this is the time where we can just keep, well, after this band we're going to be using a black band to put it on the tail, and we're going to take all these bands and we're going to be looping it off right there. And right now we're going to be taking one of these yellow bands, and we're not going to be doubling it this time, and we're going to take all these black bands, loop it like that. So right now we've got this. We're going to just take our cheetah and we're going to be putting it through the capping band right there. We're going to take this hook and we're going to put it just through, and to secure the tail on we're going to take it off the hook and we're going to pull this through, creating a slip knot right there. And we're now done with the cheetah, so hope you like him and thanks for watching.